Hi, this is Math 1050, and this video is over Chapter 4C, and we're going to look at savings plan formula. The formula is here, and as you can see, it's kind of a big formula. PMT, this is your payment that you make every month into a savings plan. And then APR is your interest rate still per year, and then N is your number of compoundings per year, Y is your year. There is a calculator for this that we're going to get into, but I have everything here listed with the symbols. Again, N for annual is 1, if it's semi-annual it's 2, quarterly it's 4, monthly it's 12, daily it's 365. Alright, and so let's look at our formula here, or example. Use the savings plan formula to calculate the balance after 6 months for an APR of 10% and monthly payments of $100. We have monthly payments equal to 100, so that means that our payment is 100. Our APR equals 0.1 because it's 10%. N equals 12 because the payments are made monthly, and Y equals a half of 0.5 because we're in 6 months, so you put it in terms of a year, so it ends up being a decimal. All right, and so your payment is 100, N equals 12, Y equals 0.5, and your APR equals 0.1. Okay, now I have a calculator for this. Again, it's under the keyword calculators, so we can click on that, and we click on the one that's called savings plan calculator. Okay, now here, a couple of things. I'm not, Desmos doesn't allow you to name 3 letters as one thing. So for the payment, it's going to be listed as M. And the amount saved, again, is A. The principal, you actually won't need this because we're using a payment and not a principal. Alright, so we said that our payment was 100. We said our N was 12, our years is 0.5, and our rate was 0.1. Right, now there's 2 parts to this. The first part is calculating the amount, and so we get 612. Right, so that's 612.64. The second part of this is a kind of a different calculator, and this is if you're trying to find the payment needed, and we'll get into that, but it's on the same page. We'll get into that when we get to it. So, if you invest $100 per month over 6 months, you end up with $612.64. Now, from this, we have 100 times 6 is 600. That's what's invested. And then 1264 is the interest earned. All right. Now we can take the savings plan formula, solve it for the payment, which is just dividing the right side here, all that over, and using this formula now to calculate the payment based on a given amount you want. All right, and so here when your child is born, you set a goal of building a $80,000 college fund in 18 years by making regular end of month deposits. Assuming an APR of 3%, calculate how much you should deposit monthly. Alright, so APR is 0.03. Your amount you're trying to earn is 80,000. The years is 18. And you're doing this monthly, so N is 12. Alright, and so if we go back to the calculator, that's where the second part comes into this. We still set these rates, so 3%, 0.03, N is 12, and years is now 18. Right. We don't worry about these two. We worry about these two down here, the little a and the little m. This is the future amount you want to save for, so that's going to be the 80,000. And then the little m is what it calculates, and so you have to put away $279.78 every month. So your payment is $279.78. Right. So that's what you have to put away every month to have 80,000 in 18 years, based on that 3% interest. Alright, the next part of this is how much of the final value comes from actual deposits and how much from interest. Alright, so your actual deposits are $279.78. So deposits, and you're going to have a total of $279.78 times 12 months times 18 years. And you get 60,432.48. And so then the interest earned, I mean, you're saving up to 80,000, so 80,000 minus that is your interest. That'll be 19,647.52. All right. We can look at this in terms of percentage as well. If we look at the deposits, 60,432.48 over 80,000. Gives us 0.76. I'm around it to the 2 digits, which is about 76% is deposited. And so with the interest, we can do the math, or you can subtract this from 100. It's going to be 0.24 or 24%. All right, next thing is what we call total and annual returns. Total, they're both percentages. Total return is a percentage change in the investment. Your A minus P over P times 100, whatever that percentage is, that's your total return. Your annual return, we're looking at the APY that will give the same overall growth over Y years. and we find it by A over P raised to 1 over the amount of years, and then you subtract 1. Right, so let's say we invest $2,000 in a mutual fund. Over 4 years, your investment grows in value to $5,600, while your total and annual returns for the 4 years. Right, so your total return you went from 2,000 to 5,600. So 5,600 minus the 2,000 over the 2,000 over your beginning amount. I get 1.8, which is 180%. It's going to be higher than 100% as long as you're making money. So if you made 2,000 and you invested 2,000, so you didn't make anything, then you end up with 0%. If you double it, so you make 4,000, you end up with 100%. So that's how this is looked at. Right now, your annual return is A over P, so 5,600 over 2,000, and then raised to 1 over the number of years, which is 4. Then you subtract 1. So 2.8 to the 1/4 minus 1. And we get 0.294 or 29.4%. That's the annual return. The next one, you purchase shares in New Web for $3,000. 3 years later, you sold them for $2,100. What were your total annual returns? Now notice in this you're not making money, so you're going to end up with a negative value. All right, so total return is 2,100 minus the 3,000 over the 3,000. So a negative 900 divided by 3,000. We have negative 0.3, which is a negative 30%. So it means you lost 30%. Okay. Your annual return is 2,100 over 3,000. And we're doing this in 3 years, so raise to 1/3 minus 1. So we get 0.7 raised to the 1/3 minus 1. And we get negative 0.11 or negative 11%. Again, you're losing about 11% each year. All right, so that's it for 4C. In chapter 4D, we're going to look at installment loans and credit cards. I'll see you then. Bye.